Hello there, namaste. So I just watched the movie Pyaasa, and I gotta say, this is a movie that needs to be watched now. It absolutely needs to. I was surprised. Like in the beginning, I started out, and it starts off with a poet who can't make a living. His brothers despise him. His mother basically begs him to take her away, even though he's a starving poet. He can't seem to find a job. And I was struggling. It's just like, why couldn't he find a job? He tries to write poetry. His poetry's sold for absolutely nothing. It's given away as toilet paper. And it's like disrespectful for someone who also writes himself. It's very disrespectful. I had some laughs while watching it, because there's certain parts which are just funny. Like I was saying something, and then his brother basically said, anyone who's literate assumes they're a poet. And I started laughing because it's like, he's talking to me. He's talking to me. His brother's talking to me. But and there was another scene where, like, it's an old movie, so they did things differently. Like the chair is left rocking like it because someone got up out of it, and you're just supposed to see it rocking, and then it starts to slow down. You see a guy's hand stick out and then start to rock it by itself. It was a funny shot. And then also the beginning, it starts off with a bee on a piece of on a string. But other than that, the movie's absolutely powerful because it starts off with this poet. You grow to like this poet. You come across a lady of the night, and as she's trying to lure this poet away, she finds out he has no money, starts shouting at him, kicks him out, and then finds out that he's the one who wrote the poetry that she bought as tissue paper for cheap. But she fell in love with the poetry, and then she starts to care for this guy, starts to care for him, and it's absolutely fascinating because you start to like the lady of the night. You like this poet, but everyone else, every businessman, everyone doesn't care for him. Everyone hates him except for this one guy who does like head oil massage. And that funny character, absolutely enjoyable to watch. He is good, but it's just absolutely aggravating. The songs are so powerful. It's because I watched the final song on its own, and that alone was very powerful. I kind of speculated as to what the song was about, because meanings in these old films the songs have strong meanings. And then you watch the movie, and it was far more impactful. I was going through it in like every song. He was literally seeing the darkness of society. He was seeing people who were considered the upper echelons of society going to where the lady of the nights, all the depravity, all the extra stuff. And it was like, you're not supposed to. And he's just basically talking about what happened to the respect, what happened to the pride, and it's just very powerful to watch it. And I was thinking, it's just like, heck, we need this movie now. And I'm so glad I watched it. I'm so glad I watched it because it's just so powerful to see it and be like, yeah, people are like that now. People don't care about their spouses. Like in one of the songs, he's singing about how these people around here are fathers. These people around here who are seeking the lady of the nights are fathers, brothers. They're husbands, and they're doing this. The women of the night, their mothers, sisters, wives. It's just disgusting. As he's singing, it's just like, it's so much more impactful because he's like, it's just the way the world is, the way it works. I mean, it's the world's first profession, and it's aggravating to watch and be like, but yet it's so powerful because each time it just has such a strong impact. The woman that this poet fell in love with in the beginning, who basically pursued greed over love, sold her love for money. And it's just devastating to go through and realize that his life would have taken a different trajectory if the woman in the beginning would have just loved him in return. And I gotta say, this has one of the most classic happy endings that you could possibly wish. They go off into not the sunset, hand in hand. They go off into a moonlit night, and honestly, that was perfect. Absolutely wonderful after such a dark story. Because yes, I had moments where I'm laughing. Yes, I had moments where it's just it very cringe. Yes, I had moments where it's just. But it's so well done. This movie is so powerful. I loved going and watching it because it's a 2-hour and 20-minute movie. It doesn't feel like such because everything is powerful, especially when it starts to get into it. when it starts to get into the aspect, when you realize that his the girl that broke his heart, her husband is trying to manipulate him. The fact that everyone takes advantage of him after everything happens. The fact that the only people that cared for him was the head oil massage person and the lady of the night. The only two that cared for him. Everyone else just wanted to use him as soon as they found out that they could make money off of him. And they could make money off of his disappearance. They could make money off of him. No matter what it was, people didn't care. They just wanted to seek out wealth. In the song that he was singing as he denied who he was, it was powerful because it's just like, what happened to the pride? What happened to our pride? We're selling out for wealth and money instead of being prideful in who we are. And it's just like so powerful because it's like, oh my gosh, we could watch that movie now and it still is as powerful. The fact that's the thing, is like there are those types of stories which no matter what will stand the test of time because greed is inherent. The sin is inherent in humanity, in the fact that it's all about money. Everyone just wants money. Everyone's seeking money. It's so powerful. I absolutely love this movie. I'm definitely going to be watching this again because I did not expect that. I did not expect that. I just remember watching the song, being emotionally impacted by that song. It had such depth, such meaning to it. And I just watched the song. And then here I'm watching the movie. And when it gets to that song again, I'm just like, everything makes sense. Everything makes sense. Everything's coming full circle. It's disgusting what people did to him. It's disgusting how everyone sees him as a opportunity. It's disgusting what happened with between his family, his mother, his brothers. It's absolutely aggravating. Absolutely. But this movie, I absolutely love it. And if you don't think old movies are for you, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. There are always those old movies which stand the test of time. There's always those stories. Like the reason why those stories have always been told throughout time. There are particular types of stories, like The Hero of a Thousand Faces. That book is written on the testament of like the hero's journey and things like that, which have been told forever. The reason why they've been told forever is because they're inherent in humanity. There are reasons why, and I gotta say, this movie, I absolutely recommend it. This is a must-watch movie. This movie right here. I mean, I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people who say it's definitely not worth it, or there are probably better versions of it, or something like that. But honestly, watching it, the music in it, everything worked, except for one song where the head massage oil salesman is singing, and then it transfers to the actor's voice while he's yelling for oil massage, head oil massage, and it just doesn't feel right, and it gets me to laugh because it's just like, oh no. But other than that, I highly recommend this movie. Pyaasa is very strong, and I forget the sliced life, or I forgot what it was. It told me what Pyaasa was at the very beginning, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna remember that. And then it gets into the story, and then I completely forget it because the story is just so strong. I gotta say, I did not expect this from the movie. I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna sit in, I'm gonna enjoy a bit of it, and I'm gonna be critical of a lot. And the things I'm critical of, I'm not critical of it because it's an old film, and it was 1957. The fact that you see a person's hand go in to move the rocking chair is rather an endearing touch for that type of film, because they didn't think things through. They're just like, oh, we've got to get this shot on film. We only really have one take. There's some impactful scenes where the lady of the night is running from the constable, and she runs into the poet's arms, and he claims, like, to get the constable away from her, he claims that she's his wife. And the look on her face, like the second she realizes what he has said, the smile she gets is just so powerful. Like, there's something to be said about these classic movies. The acting has to be on point. The music, if it's got it, everything has to be on point. Yes, there are scenes where people who are acting, like the siblings, the brothers, they act like weasels. They act like rats, and they just 100% commit to it. They're like cartoon characters. And there are people who act that way because maybe they're just used to acting on theater. That's how you act on theater. If you're given a role, you act it out 100%. You act it out over the top because, well, it's theater. It has to be seen. And in this movie, it works. It works. I definitely can't recommend this movie enough. It was fun. It was disgusting. It was absolutely worth watching just to get to that end. The powerful music in it, the powerful messaging. It's just like I'm watching it. I'm like, yes, I needed this. The world needs movies like this. The world needs to rewatch movies like this because we so easily forget. We so easily forget. This is why I love watching really old movies. This is why I really love watching old movies, because there are messages there which you don't think are relevant because, heck, that movie's 50 years old. Well, no, it's like 60, 70 years old now, and it's almost 70 years old. It's almost 70 years old, and it's still relevant today. That movie is still relevant today. I mean, that's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. The fact that we can still... That's the thing. Stories. There's a reason why they're retold. There's a reason why it's so good to go back and rewatch some old classic films, because in the end, we deal with the same thing throughout life. Those who refuse to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And that's the thing, is we're repeating history. But greed, humanity, short mindsets where we easily forget things, it just leads to that. I gotta just say, this movie was worth the watch. Absolutely worth it. I highly recommend watching this on your own. It's I gotta say, it's definitely hands down in my top few. I really got to make a list of my top movies. But in classic, I think in classic film, this has got to be one of my top 5. One of my top 5, if not one of the higher up. But I need to go back and see some more classic movies because that was just amazing. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Doodles.